Hey guys, welcome to the channel. If you're new, I pretty much make easy to understand Excel tutorials. I'll be going into detail about how Excel works its magic to, and not just where to click. And I'm hoping this makes it easy to understand. And of course, if you have any questions, just drop me a comment and I'll get back to you. Before I start, please subscribe if these easy how-to videos help you, and let's get into it. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about VLOOKUPs. VLOOKUP is a function in Excel that allows you to search for a specific value in a table, and then it returns a corresponding value from a different column in the same row. The term VLOOKUP stands for vertical lookup, because the function searches for a value in the leftmost column of the table, and then it's going to return a value from a column to the right of somewhere on that row, pretty much. And I'll show that with an example so it's a little bit easier to understand. The formula itself has 4 different arguments. So I'll type that out here just so it's a little bit easier to reference as we're building out our formula. So the first one is going to be the value that we're searching for. So I'll write out value to search for. The second part of the argument is going to be the table array to search in. The third part is going to be the column number of the value that we want to return. And then the fourth part is where you tell Excel if you want it to look for your value in an exact match or an approximate match. And that's pretty much the fundamentals of building a VLOOKUP formula in Excel. So I'll start with an example so it's a little bit easier to understand. So what if we wanted to search for a certain date and then have Excel tell us which item was sold on that date? So we can do that with a VLOOKUP formula. So I'll build that out right here. So we can start with equals VLOOKUP. And normally I would just write out the term that we're looking for, but since I'm referencing a date, sometimes Excel can kind of get the formatting mixed up with dates, and it doesn't really give you what you're looking for. So I'm going to use something called a date value function. And it's pretty much just going to make the date a little bit easier for Excel to read and understand. So I'll use date value, and then in quotes, I'm going to look for a certain date. So for this example, let's pick this one right here. March 15th, 2021, only because we know for a fact that it's out here in the data set. So I'll write that out exactly as I see it. Okay, we can add a quote, close the parentheses, comma. So that first part of the argument is done, the lookup value, right? We're looking for that exact date. Now the second part of the argument is the table array. In other words, in what table are we looking for? Or what table are we looking in to find this value? So I'm going to select the entire table. It's going to be columns A through F. So I'm just going to go ahead and select all of it. Add a comma. Now the third part is going to be the column number that we want it to return. So this is where it's going to be different from use case to use case. In my case, I wanted to look for date, and my outcome is I want to see what item was sold. For me, the item exists in the 4th column. If we're starting with the first column, that's specified here in the tables, right? So if A is number 1, then item is going to be 4, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the column we want to see is 4, so I'll write the number 4. And then this is where we tell Excel if we want it to give us, or if we want it to look for an exact match or an approximate match. I want an exact match. If you want exact, you will type out false. And if you want approximate, you can type out true. So I'll type out false. Okay. Close that parentheses and I press enter. And there we have it. And then this is accurate if we look back. If we look back at 3/15/2021, the item that was sold on that day, it's going to be pencil. Something that you should be aware of when using VLOOKUP in Excel is that if you're looking for a value that exists multiple times in a data set, then it's only going to look up and find the very first time that value exists, and it's only going to use that as a reference point. So for example, if 3/15/21, if that date existed a few times, it's only going to find that very first instance and then give you that very first outcome too, which may not be what you're looking for. So I'll show this with another example, right? So what if we wanted to see which item was sold again, but this time let's pick the region being west. Okay, so what item was sold whenever the region was west? So I'll start building that formula right here. We'll start with an equal sign and we'll type out VLOOKUP, parentheses. The term that we're looking for here is west, so I'll type that out. Okay, now is the table array the table that we're searching in. Now, VLOOKUP needs to be looking for a value in the leftmost column of the table. So for us, west is in column B. If we want B to be the leftmost column, we have to start highlighting from B. So I'm going to select B through D. And this just shows that you don't have to select the entire data set. You can do a partial data set too. That works perfectly fine. I'll add a comma. Now previously, pencil was column number 4 because we started with A. But in this case, we're starting with column B. So if B is 1, C is 2, then D, item, is going to be 3. So instead of 4, I'm going to write 3 here. And then again, I want it to be an exact match. So I'm going to type out the word false. Okay, close that parentheses. I hit enter and there it is. So it shows us pencil. Now, theoretically, this is correct. So Excel didn't do anything wrong, right? Because for West, pencil was what was sold. However, if you look down a little bit, we have another West where pencil was sold. And then we have, let's see, we have a West right here that there's a binder sold instead, right? So if you know that your data set has multiple instances of the value that you're looking for, this may not give you what you're looking for. However, if you know that your data is pretty clean and these values don't repeat, for example, then it should give you exactly what you're looking for. And it should be a relatively easy find with this formula. So that's pretty much VLOOKUPs in a nutshell. It's going to let you look up certain information and then return another piece of specific information based on your criteria. And there you have it. So that wraps up my video. If this helped you, then please do subscribe and be on the lookout for more Excel how-to videos. I'm hoping to help as many people as I can become data experts in Excel in the most easy to understand way possible. So that's it for today, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.